From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Friday, October 11th. Sunny skies, highs near the 80s today. We're starting out cooler in the 50s, but it's going to be a really beautiful day, feeling like fall in the morning. And then by this afternoon, giving you more of those summer vibes.
With Credit Karma, finding the right credit card for you is easy. Our app analyzes user profiles to suggest personalized recommendations. Visit creditkarma.com today to explore cards tailored to your needs. Credit Karma, simplifying your financial choices.
Explaining football to the friend who's just there for the nachos? Hard. Tailgating from home like a pro with snacks and drinks everyone will love? An easy win. And with Instacart helping deliver the snack time MVPs to your door, you're ready for the game in as fast as 30 minutes. So you never miss a play or lose your seat on the couch or have to go head-to-head for the last chicken wing. Shop Game Day Faves on Instacart and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 grocery orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Other fees and terms apply.
We're following breaking news. Police say one person is dead after a hit-and-run crash just north and east of downtown Indianapolis. It happened on North Keystone Avenue near East 27th Street. That's in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood. IMPD says officers were called to the scene just after 5 this morning. Officers tell us they think the victim was a pedestrian who was hit by a vehicle. The driver did not stay at that scene, and police do not have a description of the car. We'll have more on this developing story as we get it on wishtv.com. IMPD says a boy is in critical condition after a hit and run on the city's far east side. It happened just before 10 last night on Cumberland Road, just north of 10th Street. Officers at the scene say the boy was riding a bicycle with a group of other kids without lights when the car hit him. He was thrown about 50 feet, then police say the car left the scene. Officers do not have a description of the car. They ask anyone with information to please contact police. At least 6 people are dead as rescue teams work to reach people impacted by Hurricane Milton in Florida. The storm turned out not to be a worst-case scenario, according to Florida's governor, but it still left behind a lot of damage. News 8's Danielle Zukoski spoke to some people from Indiana who rode out the storm in the South.
Each of the Hoosiers I spoke to had a different story. 2 were on vacation and rode out the storm. Another was a mother living in Florida without the means to evacuate. You heard from her a day before the storm. All are fine now, but they're shaken.
Amy Hoover and her husband moved from Indiana to Florida a few years ago. They only have one vehicle, and that minivan is not big enough for their 8 children. So they were forced to ride out the storm in Citrus County, Florida.
It was just scary, loud and scary through the night. The kids were up all night. We were up all night, and so we hunkered down together in the middle of the house, away from the windows and stuff. But now it's the aftermath.
Angela Bertina is on vacation in Orlando. She's lived through plenty of Midwest storms, but says she would never do this again.
It was loud and a long time. There was like a lull in the storm probably around like 1 a.m. But yeah, I was scared. And when I got up this morning, I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Finally, on the eastern side of the state in Daytona Beach was Jeffrey Steele, his wife Katie Steele, and their 3 daughters. They decided to ride out the storm, but were going to go inland if necessary.
The wind was absolutely crazy last night. We rented a condo for the week for a fall break. Had water coming in through the doors. They had probably, 2 inches of water in our bedroom this morning. And the wind actually took the wall unit air conditioner and blew it out of the wall into the bedroom.
All of these Hoosiers say they're thankful to be safe after the storm.
For most of these Hoosiers, the chaos is over when they go home. But for Hoosiers that call Florida home now, this is just the beginning. I'm Danielle Zukoski for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook for updates.
Indiana Michigan Power is sending more than 475 employees and contractors to Florida to help with the cleanup and to restore power. The utility company says it's sending line workers, fleet technicians, safety staff, and tree trimming experts. The company says the workers will replace power lines, power poles, and if needed, rebuild portions of the state's electrical system. The crews will work 16-hour days while in Florida. A warning to be careful if you donate to hurricane relief efforts. State Attorney General Todd Rokita says you should be wary of potential scammers trying to get money from people looking to help others affected by the hurricanes.
No
reputable charitable organization is ever going to put you under a time pressure kind of crunch, right? They may ask and you may consider, and they're never going to push or rush you. So if you feel that you're getting pushed into making a donation, stop, evaluate, take your time. If they're reputable, they'll be there tomorrow.
Rokitas also says if you have a second home in Florida and are worried about being scammed, you should contact the Attorney General's office there. Hundreds of members of Indiana's National Guard are on their way to Florida to help with the debris removal and to get supplies to people in need. News 8's government reporter Garrett Bergquist got a rare look inside the operations center at Joint Force headquarters and learned exactly how Guard members will help when they arrive.
Until they get to Florida, the soldiers will be coordinated from this room. This is the operations center at Joint Force headquarters. This is where they'll get updates on what they need to do and where they're needed.
This is where the relationships between the Indiana Department of Homeland Security as well as the Florida National Guard comes in extremely handy. We're constantly communicating back and forth as to what the situation is on ground to update the type of resources, equipment, and personnel that are required to.
About 400 Indiana National Guard soldiers are heading to the disaster zone. Hoover says they'll mostly remove debris and transport supplies and people, similar to what these Florida National Guard soldiers are doing. Their equipment includes bulldozers and dump trucks.
You really are looking at clearing out the roadways and removing large pieces of either, trees or whatnot out of the way so we can support the return to normalcy.
Governor Eric Holcomb called up the Guardsmen on Wednesday. Hoover says they'll reach Florida within days. The mission could change at any time. Hoover says the soldiers are ready for any new missions that pop up. She says that's what they train for.
What we are doing right now is an example of how we can operate with our sister states. We use emergency management assistant compacts between the states that allow us to provide resources in a timely manner the moment we are requested to support our sister states.
Hoover says right now there's no set return date. She says that will depend on need. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
The effects of Hurricane Milton are still impacting flights to and from Florida. This morning, FlightAware says 18 flights are canceled into or out of Indianapolis. Most are to and from areas hit by the hurricane. Orlando International Airport posted departing flights started again today, and the FAA's airport tracking system says Tampa's airport opened at 8 this morning. Now to ITmate. Police say they're concerned about a dangerous prank that's showing up on TikTok and happening here in central Indiana. It's called the Door Kick Challenge. Danville police say 3 different times someone kicked down people's doors in a neighborhood on Mill Street. Nothing was stolen and no one went into the homes, but police say in one case a door latch was broken. Our ITmate spoke with one woman who says it happened to her.
It was scary. My grandchildren were just a nervous wreck. I was a nervous wreck. It's very dangerous. I mean, had I shot through that front door, I don't know who would have got shot.
Police say homeowners have the right to defend themselves and their home. Officers also say no arrests have been made in connection with the incidents in Danville. Indigo's newest bus route opens this weekend. The Purple Line will connect the city of Lawrence to downtown's transit center. News 8's Colin Bailey is near 38th and Keystone with more this morning.
We have Carrie Black from Indigo joining us. The process is easy, though. This is the rapid transit. You pay before you get on, correct?
Pay before you ride. So for people who are used to riding the Route 39, which the Purple Line will replace starting Sunday, this is going to be a little bit new for them. So we use a MyKey fare payment system. We have ticket vending machines and validators on each platform. So you can pay using a credit card, or you can also use change or cash. You can feed in dollar bills, you can feed in coins. It does not give you change back though, so beware of that. And so you can do that either with your tap card, or you can also pay with your QR code on your app. So you would just slide your phone in and it would scan your QR code it'll give you that check mark to let you know you are, in fact, good to go.
You can finally check out some of these new stops. Again, it was a $188 million project. Finally opens Sunday, so 2 days away. But for now, at 38th and Keystone, I'm Colin Bailey for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
In Colts Watch, another hint the team may be without receiver Michael Pittman Jr. for Sunday's game against the Titans. Pittman was a no-show at practice, marking the second one in a row that he's missed. We previously told you that ESPN is reporting that Pittman is dealing with a back injury that could sideline him for several weeks. Another receiver says the team will be ready no matter what.
It's going to be all of us just stepping up, knowing there's more opportunity out there, a void that's got to be replaced. So, we're all up to the challenge. We got a lot of good receivers in the room.
Running back Jonathan Taylor, receiver Josh Downs, and cornerback Kenny Moore also did not practice Thursday, but quarterback Anthony Richardson did practice. He missed last week's game with an oblique injury. The Colts take on the Titans this Sunday in Tennessee at 1 o'clock. In Pacers Watch, the team is now 1-1 in preseason play after a win on the road in Cleveland. The starters got plenty of playing time last night. Tyrese Halliburton with a pass inside to Miles Turner for the slam dunk in the first half. Pacers win 129-117. They have another preseason game against the Memphis Grizzlies at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Monday. That will be the first time we see the former Purdue star Zach Edey as a pro at the Fieldhouse since he was drafted by the Grizzlies in June. Now, here's Jane King with your business headlines and how Hurricane Milton is impacting the job forecast.
So Hurricanes Milton and Helene could have an impact on the entire nation. Weekly jobless claims jumped last week, partly due to Helene and its destruction. And Milton's numbers could bump up the jobless rate in the October jobs report, which is released just before the election. Well, Social Security recipients will see a 2.5% increase to their Social Security and Supplemental Security income benefits next year. That's an increase of about $50 a month starting in January. This cost of living adjustment is the lowest since 2021 as inflation has steadied. Well, a glut of natural gas shaping up to be good news for Americans this winter. The Energy Information Administration says on average, the nearly 60 million homes heated with natural gas should cost just a few more dollars to warm than last year. Bills at homes heated electric are forecast to be about 2% higher, and propane heat expected to be flat or even slightly lower. Well, Tesla CEO Elon Musk unveiled a driverless robo-taxi. It will be priced under $30,000. It's an almond-shaped cyber cab with no steering wheel or pedals. Tesla plans to start producing it before 2027, and the electric car maker unveiled a second vehicle, a robo-van, which is designed to shuttle up to 20 people at a time. Well, it was a losing day for stocks. Inflation numbers for September were hotter than expected. Today, we're looking flat, slightly lower. Live from the NASDAQ market side, I'm Jane King. Back to you.
Night at the Boo Bash is back at the Indiana State Museum. Families can go meet characters and do science experiments around the exhibits today. Costumes are encouraged, and you can win prizes for being the best dressed. Parties from 6 to 8 tonight. Tickets are $12 each. This has been your News 8 Daily. From Wish TV, I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
Okay, it's time to commit. 2024 is the year for prioritizing yourself. Begin your new smile journey with Byte, and you could start seeing results in just 2 to 3 weeks. Just order your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95 at Byte.com. Byte clear liners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces, plus they offer financing options, accept eligible insurance, and you could pay with your HSA, FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
Since 2013, Bombas has donated over 100 million socks, underwear, and T-shirts to those facing homelessness. If we counted those on air, this ad would last over 1,157 days. But if we counted the time it takes to make a donation possible, it would take just a few clicks. Because every time you make a purchase, Bombas donates an item to someone who needs it.
Go to bombas.com/Wondery and use code WONDERY for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/Wondery, code WONDERY.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.